Santa Fe Opera fans. Welcome to our next installment of Conversations in Quarantine. I'm Cori Ellison, dramaturg, and our very special guest today is soprano Joelle Harvey, who's an old friend. We go back a little bit, and we are joining Joelle at her home. Tell us a little bit about your home. Where are you? And
we are in Northern Virginia. My husband grew up here. My husband, Alex, grew up here, and we have lived here for about 6 years now, I guess. We've been in this house about 4 years. And no, that's wrong. We've been here longer, 6 years. But anyway, I'm really grateful to have a backyard and a front yard through all of this, because we have a 4-year-old daughter. And so she has had lots of space to play and lots of new things on which to play. So that's been good.
Well, your 4-year-old daughter, Hazel, has already become something of an internet celebrity, because you guys, as many of our fans out there know, there's Hazel right now. You have been very active on social media, particularly producing some really entertaining and super popular Facebook videos on your page, often featuring musical performances by the whole family, you and Alex and Hazel. And Alex, of course, Alex Fletcher is a very highly esteemed and beloved artist manager, and his roster includes you, which shows
Yes.
taste.
He's all right.
He's all right. So, hey, Alex, are you going to say hi?
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Alex. So, Joelle, when this all hit, where did it find you? Were you home at that point, or were you?
No, I was in New York City, actually, right when it was starting to be taken a little more seriously. I think that actually I was doing concerts with Chamber Music Society, and we had a concert at Alice Tully on a Sunday. I don't even remember the date. I think it was probably the first Sunday in March. And I think that was probably the last concert that happened at Alice Tully, or one of the very last, because it was shortly after that things started being canceled everywhere.
And
what
did you sing on that occasion?
What did I sing? I sang, sorry, she's stuck on this thing. My husband's going to go get her. I sang some Schubert and some chansons, and then, oh my gosh, a new piece, and I can't think of who the composer was. This is so embarrassing. I'll have to let you know about that.
It all seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I remember the name of the piece was If, and it was for a small, like, sort of a chamber group, and it's a really great piece. I can't believe I don't remember. This is terrible.
Is that based on the Rudyard Kipling poem, or If?
No, it was a translation of a German poem, actually, and it was a poem that the poet wrote about basically what he wished that his lover had said to him before they split up, and then before her subsequent death.
Oh, wow.
So it was a really intense piece. I have been thinking about it, as I'm sure we all have, like the last thing that we got to actually perform. And I'm glad that I got to do that, because I did Chanson Perpétuelle and Gretchen am Spinnrade, and they were both just like really great things to get to sing and to get to make music with, including this piece. Just very, ensemble pieces, and actually making music with people. And so we came home, Hazel and I came home on that following Monday, and then the next Tuesday we traveled to Cincinnati, because I was supposed to sing Il Delirio Amoroso with the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra and some friends, Johnny Cohen and Tommy Dunford, the lutenist. But I think we rehearsed for an hour with just piano, or keyboard, and then we had been rehearsing with the orchestra for about 25 minutes, and we all knew that it was coming, but I was like right in the middle of a cadenza, and they came on stage, everybody stopped playing, and we were like, oh, this is it.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's when they told us that those concerts were canceled. And then it's just been, especially for Alex, because he represents, I think now over 40 performers, and it's just been cancellation after cancellation. And still there are some inquiries and some contracts happening for future seasons, which is fantastic. But
Yes.
it also just feels so strange because there's, I think for all of us, at least the people with whom I've spoken, it feels a little bit like it's never going to come back in some way, even though you know that it will.
Yeah,
It's
it
just, it's
will.
strange to even think about that starting again.
Yeah. Well,
I
just
don't know.
being in this reality, it's hard to conceive of anything else right at the moment. But I think
Yeah.
we all really have to, send out the good vibes to the universe and keep the hope going, that's
Absolutely.
going to keep us going through this. So now that you're home, an uncharacteristically long time, what's a day in the life of Joelle Harvey look like these days?
Well,
Is
it's,
there a
it's
typical?
mostly about Hazel. And I was talking to Alex because we were quarantined for 2 weeks because I had cold symptoms and my doctor recommended that we self quarantine. So we just finished that a couple of days ago. And it wasn't so different from when we're at home in between gigs, except that we couldn't like run to Target. We couldn't run to the grocery store, little things to break up the day or just to, get the things that you need. Thank God for grocery delivery and my mother-in-law. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so I guess it's just, it has taken a little more thought. Some days are better than others, I think, for everybody.
Oh,
But we just get up, we take a walk, like a 30-minute walk around the neighborhood where we social distance. Even Hazel, if people get too close, she will say something about 6 feet away.
so she's
um,
clued in. She's clued
oh
in.
yeah, she
Yeah.
is. And we haven't told her all the nitty gritty, as it were. But she's definitely aware of
Yeah.
the virus. And she actually said that last night she had a dream and there was something about the virus in her dream. And that just broke my heart. But
Oh.
it's the reality of the situation. And I think that, you know, as of right now, as for this month-ish that we have been talking about
Mhm.
COVID-19, um, she doesn't have negative feelings about it. I think she will hopefully remember getting a new swing, getting the slack line, getting to do a lot of stuff outside. And we have not been watching a lot of videos, which is I'm so happy about because I think it would be easy to do that. And some days, yes, of course, some days it's a little more than others for anybody, you're going to binge Netflix more one day than the next.
Right. So
But
instead of watching videos, you've been making videos,
we
actually.
have been making videos. Yes, that is something new. It
And
feels a little bit old at this point, but it is newish.
not old at all for those of us who follow them, especially now, because they are usually lighthearted, and that's a great thing.
Yes,
And Hazel, um, the, the most recent, I believe, is Hazel singing the Queen of the Night's Vengeance aria,
that's
which
correct.
is
That's one of her favorites.
something, and all I can say is, Audrey Luna, watch out.
Well, the first couple of videos that we made, we were just having fun and thought, okay, let's dress up, have Hazel slap some lipstick on us and sing ridiculous stuff. And it has morphed from that. But I mean, from the first couple of times, she was still kind of interested in it. And then we did a few more and she was just absolutely done with it. And so we had to take some time away because she's an only child. She's not in school. She travels with me. And so she's used to having a lot of attention.
Uh-huh.
But then last night, we have tried not to coerce or bribe her into taking part in the videos. So last night I just said, hey, Hazel, because she was singing Queen of the Night. I said, would you like to sing that? Can I play that for you while you sing? And she said, I would love to do that. So we sat down, we got her costume, which she still is wearing today, the black dress, and have a tiara from my pageant days. And yeah, she just had fun doing it.
Oh,
She
that's
loves
amazing.
to play Queen of the Night. She loves the Magic Flute and the Marriage of Figaro. Just loves them.
Well, that's great. Well, she'll have a lot of Magic Flute to watch at Santa Fe Opera,
Yes, absolutely.
which
I've
is
been
really
I did Magic Flute at the Met, the truncated version in English in December, and that's where she got to know it, and she had
ah,
big chunks of it memorized, and she got to see it twice, the whole thing. And
wow.
so I was telling her, you'll get to see it again. It'll be a little different, but we watched a little clips of the production, and
Uh-huh.
she's excited about it. I am too.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. So what are you working on these days? I mean, you've sung Pamina a good bit before, but what are you working on these days other than
I've never sung it in German. I've never sung the whole role. The
really?
Met was my first time really performing it. I had done, I covered it with Atlanta Opera, like, sorry,
There you
there we go, low battery. I covered it with Atlanta Opera about 10 years ago. And so I think I did 2 student performances that were super, super truncated. So actually Santa Fe will be my first time singing the role
go.
in its entirety.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
that's an honor for Santa Fe then. I look forward to it. Absolutely. So, what for you have been the challenges, the biggest challenges of this time?
I think sort of when I do sit down and practice, knowing what it is that I should practice. Like knowing if deciding whether or not I should start looking at this thing, knowing that it may get canceled, or brush up on this thing, knowing that it may get canceled. And um, yeah, I guess that's part of the decision every time I sit down at the piano. And sometimes I just say, I'm not going to worry about it. And I just, sing through some Fauré or some Schubert or something that is just going to be nice to sing right there, or something ridiculous like Song to the Moon. Like,
Not
because why
sure.
not?
Why
Make a
not?
boom
I mean,
check.
hey, Lucia Pop sang it,
Right.
fabulously. So, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
what do you see? What do you see as the role of an artist in this particular time?
Oh, that is a difficult question. I think obviously we're all looking at it a little differently. Some people are putting like mini performances out every day. Some people are saying we shouldn't do it at all. We shouldn't be giving our art away. I think that we should follow our own personal drive as it pertains to this. And that's part of the reason that we did these silly videos, because it's not so much opera anymore, but it started out really with opera, and it's still connecting to music, and it's still sort of listening to that thing inside us that is the reason that we do perform, because that I don't think that goes away. There's still something there. um, so I think if we can support each other, even if it's not what you would be doing necessarily, if you know that that's something that's fulfilling for someone else, or if you're able to help out in some way, I think that's great. And if you can't, then you can't. I mean, everybody is in a different headspace about this, and capable of doing different things at different times. So
Yeah. So what's been getting you guys through? What are you doing that you normally don't have the time to? Are you doing a lot of cooking or you know,
we're doing a lot of baking, gluten-free baking, um, which is fun, but not so good for the waistline because the YMCA is closed.
well, true, but you do have a backyard, which
That's true. I could be using the slack line. Yeah, I get about halfway across the slack line and it's touching the ground. So that could be a little clue for me.
that's
No, we've been taking, I think the biggest difference for our family is that Alex has more flexible time, because of the nature of everything that's going on. So he's able to take, 30 or 60 minutes away, and we'll go do a bike ride, or we'll take an extra walk, or he'll play with Hazel more than he would be able to previously. So
uh-huh.
that's been really nice. And I've been able to see, like, she'll ask him to wipe her instead of asking me to wipe her. Like little things like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Something positive that's come from COVID-19.
So any advice for us, any particular films or or books or things that you've discovered that are
We just finished watching Schitt's Creek. It was the series finale, which was, I was just sitting there crying the whole time.
oh yeah,
happy tears and sad tears. I don't know. I haven't been reading very much, to be totally honest. Kind of, but she gets up around sometime between 6:30 and 7:30 usually, and it's just, she doesn't nap anymore, so we're just going until she's asleep around 8.
she's
And at that
4
point, I
now.
just want to sit on the couch. She's 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's kind of nice too to be able to just focus on that, and because often at night after she goes to bed, I have to study a score or do translations, whatever it is, and I can just, it's okay to just veg out for a while.
Yeah. So it's all Hazel all the time, and hey, that's great, and
It is.
it's kind of a luxury, and it must be it's a wonderful way to spend your weird seclusion time.
For sure. I know I've seen people writing on Facebook like, oh, what a great time to not have kids. And I just think, well, what are you doing this whole time? Aren't you bored all day?
Well,
she's learning to read cursive writing, and she's learning to read in general. And it's really exciting to see that stuff and to actually have time to dedicate to it when you don't feel like you're stealing time from other things.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, Joelle, thank you so much for taking this time. And
of course. Thank
yeah,
you, Cori. Here,
sure.
Hazel, you want to say hi?
Yeah,
No,
Hazel. Oh,
she's
Hazel.
also really good at it.
Hey, hi, how are you?
I barely even breaks my muscles in my arms.
She barely broke her muscles in her arms.
You know what I did?
What did you
What
do?
did you do, Hazel?
Oh, it's the new toy.
Mom,
What? Are you going to show us? You were flipping.
My legs up here.
Uh-huh.
When I flipped down to the ground like
Whoa.
that, and instantly my arms hurt.
Oh, there you have
So
it.
I think-
My
I think
daughter's
I
going to
hurt-
sue me over the
I
new
think I hurt
toys.
my arms when I
Okay.
did that.
I think you're okay. Come here.
Well, this is certainly the most unique of our Zoom interviews so far. So again, thank you so much, Joelle, and
Thank you.
have a great couple of weeks or months until we see you.
You too, Cori. Hope it's sooner than later.
Oh.
Thank you.